welcome back to the Wayward Gourmands. This is Keith and this is my assistant.
Keith.
Today, it's holiday cookie season. We're bringing you two different kinds of cookies that you can put out on Christmas night for who?
Santa.
That's right. We're going to start off with Italian cannoli cookies. Who doesn't like a good cannoli? Except this one is in cookie form.
Oh, and by the way, this is ricotta cheese. If you saw that video, give a really big thumbs up to Wayward Gourmands.
That's right. We made our own ricotta cheese. We have a video on how you can make your own. If you're if you're stressed for time, you can use store-bought, but I highly recommend doing the homemade version. It's absolutely delicious. The second cookie that we're going to be doing is a black raspberry thumbprint cookie. Super easy, super yummy. We're going to get these going. I'm going to bring the camera in here, get it on the mixer so we can see how these are put together. I'll see you in a minute. First thing we're going to do is we're going to cream together the butter and sugar. I like starting it off on a slow speed so I don't kick sugar all over the place. And then I increase the speed up and basically beat the tar out of it for a couple of minutes until it becomes nice and light and fluffy, as you can see here. Once it's light and fluffy, you can stop the mixer just to give the bowl a good scrape down, get everything back in the bottom of the bowl. And then we can start that back up again and start adding our eggs. One at a time, wait until they're about disappeared, then you can add the next. Once they're all integrated in there, then what we're going to do is we're going to add the ricotta cheese. Once that gets pretty integrated into the batter, we're going to add some vanilla. And let that mix in. And then we're going to move on and we're going to add the cinnamon and orange peel. And after that integrates, then we're going to be adding the baking powder, baking soda, and salt. And then we'll be moving on to the flour. Just add a little bit at a time, maybe a half a cup to a cup at a time. You don't want to dump the whole thing in there, or you're just going to wind up cleaning up more of the kitchen than you really anticipated. This is enough of a mess that gets made. You don't need to add any additional. Once you get that all added in there, just let it spin until it just comes together. You don't want to overbeat it, because then you'll wind up with a tougher texture of cooking. You don't want that. Then onto the chocolate chips. We're going to use mini chocolate chips in this. You can also add chopped pistachios. I left them out for this one, but if you love pistachios, put them in there by all means. And you're just going to bring that together. You can either do it with this on low, or you can fold it in with a spatula. It's up to you. All right, welcome back. You saw how we put it together in the mixer. I got it in this white bowl, covered it with plastic. I'm going to get this in the refrigerator for at least an hour to let it cool off. Now, it's going to take us a couple minutes to set up for the second cookie. So with a little Hollywood magic, it's only going to have to be 1 second for you to wait. But we'll be back in a second, and we'll start the second cookie while this is cooling.
Put this in the fridge for 1 hour.
That's right, 1 hour. Be back in a minute.
Yep.
All right, welcome back. We're all set up for the second cookie. We have our black raspberry jam. We have our sugar that we're going to roll the balls in. We're going to start mixing this in. I'm going to bring you in again on the mixer, and we're going to start creaming the sugar with the butter. Be back in a second. All right, so we're going to start these off by creaming together the butter and sugars. It's both white sugar and brown sugar in there. We're going to let that go for a couple minutes again until it becomes nice and fluffy. Then we're going to add our vanilla, some milk, and then we're going to let that go for a minute until it gets combined, and then we're going to add in a mixture of flour and cornstarch. There's no eggs in this. And again, once that's combined, you can drop it out of the mixer, and we're ready. All right, so we're going to start assembling the cookies. You saw how we mixed everything together. This dough you don't have to refrigerate. You're going to notice it's much stiffer than the last dough. This is going to be like a moldable dough. You're going to want about a 1-inch ball of dough, and I'm going to roll it around, and then I'm going to pass this off to my assistant. And he's going to roll it around in granulated sugar. He's going to cover everything. And then he's going to put it on the sheet tray. And then, as per the namesake, he's going to take his thumb and he's going to push a divot into it. And once we get all of this done, we're going to go back and we're going to fill them with the jam and get them in the oven. Okay, welcome back. We finished baking off the thumbprint cookies. Now our dough for the cannoli cookies is fully cooled off. We're just going to start scooping. There's nothing fancy to do. Use a 1.5 tablespoon scoop, and you just scoop them out on a tray. You want to keep them about 1.5 inches, 2 inches apart because they are going to spread. So we'll start scooping these, and we'll be back in a second. This is where you start scooping. All right, we're going to get these into a 375 degree oven for about 11 minutes, and we're going to check them out. Okay, so welcome back. As you saw, we got the cannoli cookies into the oven. They went for 14 minutes at 375.
Yep.
As you can see, they're nice and puffy, and they're a little brown around the edges. They came out absolutely smashing. What? The only thing left to do is try them. So I'll tell you what, you try the jelly one, I'll try the cannoli one. Sound good? All right.
So let's...
Cheers.
Cheers.
Ting. It's a nice light cookie. It's not dense. It's nice and fluffy. And it's got that hint of like a cannoli, like that sweet cinnamon kind of, and it's got the little chocolate chips in it. It's really good. You could dust a little powdered sugar on top of this, or if you want, you can melt some chocolate and drizzle over it.
I didn't notice. It kind of looks like an eye.
It does look like an eye, but how does it taste? That's what they want to know.
Awesome. It tastes. Double thumbs up for that.
Double thumbs up. Holy schmoly. All right, guys. Thank you very much for coming back to the Wayward Gourmands. I hope you try these 2 cookie recipes. Send them out for Santa. See you next time on the Wayward Gourmands.
See you next time. Bye.
Happy holidays and Merry Christmas.
I forgot to tell you the jelly part.